Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NFL Draft Podcast brought to you by IB Sports. I am the commissioner, RC Carlton. As always, I am joined by the man of 1,000 names, Rodney Alex Sandich. Look at that. Got it right.
Nah, bro, you ain't even put my Facebook link on here, bro. That's
I
crazy.
did.
No, you didn't. I just did it myself.
The first time I did, then I had to go back
Nah,
out.
you,
It didn't work out,
you be
man.
trying to
I
you
didn't
be
know
trying to hold me back, bro.
you big time now. I didn't know if you could
I'm
you could
not
do
big
that.
time,
I
man.
didn't know if
I feel like
I didn't
doing
want you to
something
get
for
in
people.
trouble. All
Get in trouble
right, what
for
do you think of the class as a whole? What do you think?
it's okay. That you can work with people in this class, all the way down to I would say 6 or 7. 7 is kind of stretching it, but 6. There's 6 guys in this class you could work with. Not 6 guys that you want to be your guy, but that you can work with, as in you can make them serviceable. I think.
Uh, See, it's never that many. We always think it is, but it's never that many. I think it's 3. I'm not sure what the 3 are, but
So there's only 3 guys
uh,
you can work with.
I mean, define work with.
Work with, as in, let's say they can come in and spot starts at the most, like or
Okay, that's
at
like
the
backups, though.
yeah,
To
guys that you
me,
can at
like,
least turn
okay,
into.
then yeah, you can get 6.
You
Shoot,
can get it. You
Joe
can
Milton
turn
might
into
be on the list
something.
if you're doing that. A spot
Who?
start, he is terrible.
Well,
I
let's
think
not
that's
say spot start that can come in and be game managers at least. Let's put the bar
JJ
at game
McCarthy is
manager.
going to be the greatest backup quarterback of all time.
Who?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah, I mean he can. I
That's
believe
a
he can.
solid backup, like a lifetime. Like Steve Young eventually moved to. I think JJ is going to be a great backup. But so yeah, I don't know. It's deep and maybe, but I don't
Pause.
think
Pause.
I don't. That could
We are
be a
not that.
pull.
I can tell you clearly are out of your podcasting regiment when you talk about it's deep and you just let that go. Like you didn't even.
But you do that anyway, even when
Yeah,
I'm doing
I
it all
just
the
said
time.
like God. Are you sure
So
you're teaching today's youth? Because I feel like they would correct you on that.
they do. They
Okay.
constantly we constantly say pause and
Yes, we
all the
need
time.
to.
Mostly
No,
for them. If you
no
knew how they
Diddy.
really were,
No
they
Diddy.
can't talk about
We
me.
gotta.
But let's
I
get
got
to
you.
it. Let's
All
get
right, let's
to it.
go. Let's go.
Uh, so Caleb Williams, a lot of talk, a lot of hype, a lot of negatives. Why
Yeah,
do you think people are so negative about him?
because people are stupid. And you got to be negative about something. I'm the most negative person that I know when it comes to sports. You know, like
Player.
I hate everything that wins. We literally go through this on a regular basis. If you're good or great, I hate on you. And I think a lot of people just do it for clicks, and a lot of people just do it to basically be the person that had the hottest take. Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. Hot take. Yeah, you don't want to draft this guy. Yeah, no. Like I would definitely stay away from Caleb Williams. I don't want anything to do with Caleb Williams. And what I'm noticing is that a lot of these people, also the people who thought Will Levis was a can't miss guy as well. So let's put that out there.
There aren't many people. The only person I know of is not Jaws, is Merrill Hodge,
Yeah,
that
Merrill
is a
Hobbs.
tape watcher or a watcher that was willing to like break at least go look at the YouTube cut ups if they don't have access to tape. Like these people are just watching the game and they say, oh, I don't like it. And I don't think a lot of them watch the game. We're seeing highlights. A lot of the reactions I got on the big page were after losses. And
Yeah,
it's
well,
like, well, he threw 2 interceptions. Well, he's trying to make plays, and his team was undermanned.
and you kind of have to take results out of it a little bit. And I say that because I thought Caleb Williams' best game was against Oregon, and they lost that game. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I thought Jaden Daniels' best game was against was Ole Miss, and they lost that game. I thought one of Nick's best games was against Washington, and they lost that game. So I don't think you. I mean, you want results, obviously, but I think you have to take some of that out just because, again, Jake Fromm, not Jake Fromm? I don't know what I'm talking about. Jake Fromm, Stetson Bennett. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at Stetson Bennett's results, he's better than Bryce Young. He's
Yeah.
better than CJ Stroud. I mean, hell, head to head, his team beat CJ Stroud's team.
That's why
But if you
quarterbacks
look
really
at the
are
film,
a legitimate.
like it's clearly levels to it between all three of them, honestly. Even with Bryce Young having a terrible rookie season on a bad organization, but still a terrible rookie season. Let's take their college film, what they did in college. There's levels to it. And I think a lot of people can't separate that result from what they see in the player. Like, you know, yeah, he had a good game, but they lost. Yeah, he threw for 400 yards and 67% completion and 4 touchdowns, but they still lost. Like, well, hell, if I'm looking at just the stats, a lot of these games that Caleb Williams had and Drake Maye and everybody else, where's the defense then? If we're going by results, because the quarterback,
Yeah, all the points that he scored
if you're
consistently.
putting up points, you expect to win. So yeah, I just think people they're doing too much.
So me, I don't like hyperbole. I'm overly critical too, and I've been trying to focus on what they can do well. I think that's why I missed on Herbert. I don't think I missed on Levis, but he did show some signs.
I'll die on that hill.
I wasn't Josh Allen. I don't know if I missed, but I wasn't high on him. But these are people that if you looked at what they could do and what you jig, and who was last year? And Stroud. So if you looked at what they did really well, that's why they succeeded. And I think it's easier than it ever has been to play quarterback in the National Football League. So if I'm looking at, I was taught that accuracy can't be improved, but I've seen people improve that.
I told you that it didn't matter,
but usually it does.
Yeah, it does. Usually, I got my one exception to the rule, and I'm running with it.
Scheme people. It's so easy to scheme people open now with the short passing game. It really is, and these toolsy guys just come in and just dominate. So for Caleb, we can go deeper. For Caleb, just an amazing talent. His arm talent, that's such a cliche word, but he's the definition of arm talent. The only other person I saw do this in college was Patrick Mahomes, and Caleb doesn't throw anywhere near the interceptions, and he's nowhere near as reckless as Mahomes was in college.
I mean, yeah, coming out of college, I think Caleb Williams is a more refined product than Patrick Mahomes was. And people are going to probably be like, what? You think he's better than Patrick Mahomes? We're talking about the college version.
In college, as a prospect.
What you see now was not the college version of Patrick Mahomes. Now, if we did see the college version of Patrick Mahomes like the NFL version, it would have probably been a better Caleb Williams because he's in a more friendlier conference when it comes to putting up those kind of numbers and whatnot.
Better coach. I know y'all don't like. I know y'all don't like Lincoln.
I'm not. No, I'm a Lincoln
anti-Lincoln guy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Like, I think
what the whole Lamar, the whole conversation is us not being.
Yeah. We had he just came literally. We ain't got there yet.
He's a future GOAT.
We got there yet.
We literally are talking against the people.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, I think he's being sarcastic too. Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying, I don't even think it's against the grain. People that actually know football don't have a problem with them. I misread that.
I don't see how you can.
Nobody that has a problem that's why he's no one pick. It's people that just want to be trolls. But his accuracy, his ability to move, his ability to do different throwing angles and arm slots is amazing. I mean, everything about his game is stuff that's he's like the evolution of what we've seen since Mahomes and Rodgers. He's the evolution of all that. He's the finished product. Now, is it a guarantee? No. Is Chicago a great place to go? No. It's where quarterbacks go to hell. Where quarterbacks go to die.
It's trash. They haven't had a good quarterback in our life. I'm 38.
And what I'm hoping is that immediately they get him some help. Don't sit. First of all, you need a new coach. You need a new offense coordinator. You need somebody that's dynamic. Then you need some receivers and some talent for this man.
You need a system too that's accommodating, which they don't have. They couldn't do it for Fields, and I mean, people will say, "Well, Fields sucks." No, the organization sucks. I think that's first and foremost. I think first and foremost, the organization failed him.
Can I ask you a question?
But he's had multiple offensive coordinators since he came in, and the head coach who has
Fields today. Who called to get a trade for Fields?
Yeah, I wouldn't take him now either. He's damaged good. He's damaged good. There's a crude joke I could make about that. But I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
Yeah, Pete, Chicago is really tough. But I think Caleb is so talented. He's going to be good, but I don't know how much success he can have in Chicago. I don't know. It's tough.
Eberflus should have been fired. He should have been fired.
I agree.
And who like the I don't who's their offensive coordinator? Doesn't even matter. I think it's Getsy, ain't it? Or did they get rid of Getsy?
They got rid of somebody.
I can't even keep up anymore.
I will say this about Williams. It's the ability to improvise. Now, that's a great strength, but it is one of his greatest weaknesses. I think the only weakness that the man has is that he could be too reliant on out of structure plays, and he's always looking for the big play. My brother says it, and I'm sure somebody else invented it, but you can't go broke making a profit. 5, 6, 7 yards. It doesn't always have to be spectacular. And maybe he was doing that because of the team's deficiencies on offense and defense. Somebody look up for me how many people from USC are drafted in the first round, or the second, or the third. It's not a lot of prospects on that team. So you got to do what you got to do. And I never make excuses for quarterbacks. But if you watch, it's pretty obvious he's trying to be Superman every play.
Yeah, the offensive line was really terrible for starters. And then I think a lot of their plays that I saw watching film, he was behind the sticks a lot, which leads you to hold the ball more. I mean, a lot of his highlights are 3rd and 19 and 2nd and 17 and things like that, where he's got to buy time. I think I sent you a video. If not, there's a video I have of him literally running around for 4 to 5 seconds on 3rd and 19, and then he throws. He's running towards the sideline and makes a leaping throw, and it's a dart down the field on a converted pass. So yeah, I'm not looking at that too much when I'm watching or trying to evaluate. And this is me personally, because I'm not Daniel Jeremiah, but I have like 5 things that I look for in a quarterback to make him a top draft pick, especially a number 1 pick. My number 1 thing is anticipatory throws. You got to know to throw the ball on time when it's time to throw the ball on time. And you talked about how he extends plays and things like that, but you can't watch his tape from last year and not see that he is well above this class when it comes to anticipating the curl routes, the post routes, the slants, when things are going to be open. And he did a lot of that against man-to-man, tight coverage.
And even more so the year before. Even more so his Heisman year.
Yeah, he made throws. And again, this isn't me, trying to keep it PC. This isn't me going like overreacting. The guy made throws on tape that I didn't see from other people. He was comfortable making those decisions in real time, under duress, with tight coverage, very confident, ball placement. Everything was just damn near perfect. And he had the confidence to execute that on a consistent basis that Drake Maye didn't show me, that Daniels didn't show me, that Knicks didn't show me. Nobody else showed me that they were comfortable enough making those kind of tight window throws on a regular basis while also being under duress. And that to me is what sets him apart from the rest of the class, just off of what I saw on the tape.
He has more. I have never, and this is, I'll move off, but I didn't say he had the best career, but I've never seen a better college quarterback. You call it what you want to call it, with all the tools, everything he can do. Maybe you say Cam, but I'm with the whole package. I've never seen a better college quarterback ever. Just with him, the person. Joe Burrow was more productive. Cam was more of a force of nature. But just as a quarterback, if I'm going to start my team with any college quarterback ever, I pick Caleb Williams.
I think somebody said that too. I think one of the new guys said that, not in the group, but like one of the new commentators or something said that. And I was, I'm attached to the sunshine boat still from coming out of college. I know, I can't.
I never understood the hype. Never understood the hype ever. I try to believe y'all and just go with it, but I never understood the hype about sunshine. That's we call sunshine Trevor Lawrence for the people that don't know. All right, so let's do Drake Maye. He's polarizing. I got you and my brother. I would reference my brother. He does the podcast sometimes. His name is Corey. So if you don't know, we got some new people on. That's my brother. Sometimes he's on here. Drake Maye. I'll let you tell me, and then I'll react. What you think?
Let me see. How can I sum? Because I thought about this. I looked at everybody's best or worst game, essentially the game that they looked awful in, and when I talk about this class and the top 5 guys that I have, all of them have bad throws. Even Caleb Williams, after we just praised him high and low, they all have bad throws. They all have mistakes. Drake Maye's mistakes and bad throws were the worst
So bad.
of
So
all
bad.
of them. I think. Like I just again, I understand the highlights and the potential, but when he made mistakes and when he made bad reads, there are several instances, and I can pinpoint some of the plays that I can remember off the top of my head. Several throws in the Duke game, several throws in the UVA game, several throws in the South Carolina game, where I was like, "Who are you throwing it to? Who are you throwing it to?" And I didn't say that about Nix, Penix, Daniels, or Williams when I was watching.
Even JJ.
Like who are you throwing it to? What were you thinking? Like what was
The thing
going
about
on?
JJ is for what it was worth, you never see that. You're never like, what?
Yeah.
With JJ McCarthy. He plays with him and stuff. Drake Maye, I think, I hate to say it because I think his talent's even overrated, but he has so much natural ability as far as arm strength that like sometimes
I
I think
wasn't
it
wild by that though.
confused, huh?
I wasn't wild about his arm strength.
Everybody tells me that. So I'm trying to be
Bro,
better because I don't like
there's
it.
plenty of times where I'm watching the games where people have to wait on the ball to get to them. Wait on the ball to get to them.
2 point
At the
now.
next level,
He's
that's dangerous.
30. Pete's right. When I first saw him, you know what I thought? Daniel Jones. That's what I thought. Daniel Jones vibes. But I would say,
He's built
and
like
even
Josh Allen.
a little Trubisky. Like
I
it's
want to get away from that because it's a North Carolina.
Yeah, I know it is.
Now. Yeah.
I did say another one too, but same state. But there are some throws that I see, but they're so awkward. I don't see how he could duplicate them. They're amazing, but I never saw him do it twice. A lot of off-platform stuff and running.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be able to run around like that in NFL. I remember Riddler was running.
Ritter.
I think the Riddler like Batman.
Yeah.
Ritter, he always would run, but he couldn't do that in the NFL because
he's slow in the NFL.
Yeah. I just don't think Drake Maye can do a lot of it. Now, he may be able to scramble, but I also think the thing that stops me, I'm going to have him third, spoiler alert. The thing that stops me from dropping him, I want to put him lower than everybody. Chris Samms had him 6. I want to do that, but the talent that he has and the stature he has, the dudes that I've been seeing, CJ Stroud, Herbert, not Josh Allen, but those 2 dudes hit the league running and look like they physically belong day one. That's what I'm afraid about Drake Maye, that he will be so physically talented that I don't think that's true, that they'll be able to work with him and develop him into a CJ Stroud or a baby Josh Allen, which may be the picks,
And again, I just go back to I don't think he's that special with his arm.
I don't either.
Yeah, and I think that's why
I'm trying to
guys like Stroud and them can get away with it because they have special arms. I don't think he has a special arm. And I mean it's above average, but his late throws, a lot of those were picks. A lot of those were deflections and things like that. He's athletic, but he's not super fast,
Yep.
And again, when he extends plays, he's looking to throw late without the option of really running, which is totally different from Daniels, who when he extends plays, he's looking to run. And then Williams has more of a balance. He'll run or pass. I just think Drake Maye, at the end of the day, he needs a system, like legit needs a system to accommodate the fact that I don't think his arm strength is quite what it should be. I don't think you want him throwing outside the hashes a lot, which is where guys will start coming downhill because people have to wait on the ball a lot from what I've seen. That downhill type defenses where guys are planting their foot in the ground, they're coming downhill. I think a lot of those passes at the next level are going to be interceptions or deflected because he doesn't have the best ball placement either. Like these are things that I mean, I'm criticizing him as somebody that's going to be a top 3 pick. If I've got Drake Maye down between like the teens, I don't think it's that bad of an idea. But we're talking about this guy being a top 3 pick, going to a team being a cornerstone.
A trailer. What is it? A truck instead of a trailer.
Yeah.
He's got to pull it. I don't think he's the guy that can pull it. I really don't.
That would be my concern. And it has nothing to do with him being in North Carolina or anything like that. I'm done. I'm done.
You can't school scout.
With those
school scouting is a mistake.
Yeah.
But damn it, sometimes it seems like it. I'll never go for a Wisconsin running back. I don't care. That's the only one I'll do. Never. It's terrible. They had one. Who was the one? Melvin Gordon, and he
Nah,
slowed
Ron
down real
Daniels.
quick. He was good in the NFL.
He was all right. He remember they had the Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon
Let's
wasn't
go
that
to
great.
Jaden Daniels, my favorite prospect of all these quarterbacks. He was so good. When I looked at him, I was like, do I like him better than Caleb Williams? But then I felt like I had enough material on Caleb Williams, so I didn't want to look at him. But in the end, I went back and looked because I like Jaden so much.
Did you want to answer that though? Where's Minnesota
Yeah, go ahead and
picking?
answer. Go ahead and answer.
Are they picking like 8th or something like that? I can't remember.
Minnesota's kind of
So listen, Pete,
like,
my personal philosophy is if I'm drafting you in the top 3, you need to play today. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time because the top 3 picks are guys that you think are cornerstones, franchise guys. They can turn it around. Let's go. If I'm drafting you around like out of the top 5, then yeah, I mean, I don't mind sitting you for a year. Like, so if Minnesota, and I'm assuming Minnesota's out of the top 5, I don't mind taking him for Minnesota, sitting him behind Sam Darnold for a year, and getting him.
Is that who they're going with?
Yeah, that's who they paid. I'm assuming that's what they're going with. Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
oh
man.
My goodness.
Yeah. So
well,
I mean, I don't mind that. So
I hope
yeah,
that's not what they're going with. I hope they're not going. Oh, your sports king just did it. I'm not. I can't. You can't start with Sam Darnold. That can't be. Let me see where Minnesota is. Minnesota is 11th. So 11th? He won't be there, but if he did fall, that could happen, Pete. I would say yes, but I believe
I don't think he'll fall though. That's too much.
You sit everybody. He might. What's Jake fell? Who was it that fell last year? Will Levis was being talked about like this.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that I prefer everybody sitting. You gotta sit to learn the speed of the game. Everybody doesn't need to, but to be safe, I want them to sit. Now, if you pick somebody 1, can they sit? No.
No.
Patty sat.
Who?
Roger sat.
Patty sat. Roger sat, and they were not top. Well, Patty, I think, was 10th. Rogers was not in the top 10. He was like around in the 20s.
No, but I mean,
but I'm just saying that's different. What their perceived talent coming out of college wasn't that they were cornerstone franchise guys, obviously, because if they were, they would have went top 3.
I mean, no. I take no, because Kansas City traded up though to get him.
They did trade up, to get him.
You trade up to get a guy. Somebody believed
top,
it.
Yeah, in the top 10 though, or he was like 10th. He wasn't. Yeah, they didn't trade up to the 1 spot or the 2 spot, or they didn't take him in the top 3.
I think that year, Mahomes, like some people had him 1 and some people had him 7th. I think a lot of that was going on too.
Yeah, because he was so also too, you gotta think teams picking in the top 3, they don't have the luxury of patience with fans or anything results. Like they want to see it now. So
but I'm gonna bring my quarterback along correctly.
So you like Daniels. I find that funny because I feel like
I love Daniels.
I feel like this was 6 years ago, you would hate him.
Huh?
I feel like this was 6 years ago, you would hate him.
Yes, I would. I'm involved in it too. So I love the way Daniels plays. He's smooth. He plays with rhythm. He has timing. He can run. He's like a Lamar Jackson as a better passer right now. He's better passer than Lamar right now. And
he has better form. I have to give him credit, and I'm pretty sure that his computer just died. He's gonna leave me here talking about Jaden Daniels by myself. Good God. All right, yeah. So Jaden Daniels, super athletic. I guess we can go over the pros first. Pros would be he's again super athletic. The escapability is off the charts. Has great vision. When they used him in read options, he was phenomenal with it. Capable of taking hits, which also will be in my negatives. But he can carry the rock several times. So again, I like the Lamar comparison because Lamar's not when Lamar came into the league, he wasn't a big guy frame wise, and so people thought, how's he going to handle running the ball, handle the NFL hits, and he's done pretty good. And for the most part, because he's so shifty, you don't really get to hit Lamar square. Very rarely have we ever seen Lamar really teed off on, and I think that helps too. And Lamar's smart enough to get down. I definitely don't see him as a Jalen Hurts style. Jalen Hurts was definitely more bulky, And as a passer, Daniels is way better than Jalen Hurts. Those fade routes that I gotta give credit to his receivers too. I can't wait till we go through the receivers because his main target receiver will be in my top 5.
Amazing.
But
Some people have done that too because
yeah,
they're saying, okay, the receivers are so good, but no, he's a
yeah,
baller.
they didn't carry him. They didn't carry. You see them
No,
fade
they
routes.
didn't carry him at all.
He had the best fade routes of all the quarterbacks I saw, and that's include Caleb Williams. His fade routes were phenomenal.
I like your comments, Pete, but I got a question for y'all. Is Lamar that much better than Hurts?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think so? Is just what they got? The Eagles fell apart, but because the talent started to kind of get older and the roster wasn't as good. The Ravens have a very good roster. If you traded those two teams, would it be different?
I mean, I think so, yes. I think it would be a little
because if you look at the year before, you would have to say Hurts was better than Lamar, right?
Yeah,
and the year you have to say Lamar is better. Hurts was a legitimate MVP candidate.
Yeah, but the year before, Hurts didn't have an offensive coordinator who knew that it was 2023. So now he's got an offensive coordinator that understands. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should spread out a little bit more. Use the space of the field that we have. You know, not put everything in between.
Hurts been further than Lamar. I know we said
he has, but he ain't got that. He ain't got the hardware.
They fell apart. That wasn't Hurts.
But if you're a 2-time MVP, man, regardless of you want to win the Super Bowl and stuff, but MVP is an award that, as an individual, that you can hang your hat on. And he has it twice. He has it twice against Patrick Mahomes too. He can't beat him in the game, but he can beat him.
Patrick Mahomes. He's always the MVP. It's like Jordan or LeBron. They're always the MVP.
They don't care.
They get tired of it.
They still give it to him if they could.
You know Patrick Mahomes is the best dude, and he's carrying. If they caught half the passes, he wins MVP by a landslide. But what I will say about Jalen, I don't want Jalen only has one season of production. He's got a weird thing when he gets hit. He doesn't slide. I wouldn't say he had the greatest arm in the world. I don't know. He doesn't have the greatest arm in the world. I like him. I like him underneath. I like everything he does. I don't have any problems with him.
I have a couple grievances. I mean,
I think his ceiling is not what Caleb Williams' ceiling is, but I think it's very possible he could be better. It reminds me of Zion and Ja Morant. Now, you have to pick Zion because it's a life-changing, life-altering talent. But he may be, but Ja Morant was more likely, in my mind, to reach his ceiling. And the same thing. I think it's very possible Jalen might reach his full potential more than Caleb will, especially in a situation. But you have to pick the better prospect.
Is a full potential Daniels better than a 3/4 potential Williams? I don't think so.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm high on him. You know what's so funny? I didn't watch him during the season. I said, why'd he win the Heisman?
I watched that because
I only watch games with championship implications.
Well, obviously,
and beyond.
Yeah,
obviously. I'm not gonna watch LSU.
That's why you need to become a degenerate, so you watch everything. So
you know what's so funny? What? I've been gambling more and more. I just look at updates. Like it doesn't do anything for me to watch the game. I just look at my phone. It doesn't do anything for me.
Stop talking to me, man.
I'm overstimulated, man.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I don't have the attention span. I'm overstimulated.
We're not doing receivers right now, Childers, but yeah,
we're just doing.
I'm all about that. If you guys can pull it off,
come back next week.
Can pull it off. Grievance number one. My guy got to learn how to get down. He got to learn how to get down.
Yes, that's the problem.
So many unnecessary hits, bro. Like, and I'm talking hard hits in open.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's weird.
Like he's suicidal. He's got to be suicidal. You remember I always refer to that clip when the ref told Joe Burrow, bro, you got to learn how to slide.
Yeah, he was like, come on.
like you got to at that level. It's just too many big, fast guys. Yeah.
Stuff.
But I don't. My other grievance is
these guys are big. Yeah. Jaden and I don't think people realize how big Jaden and Drake Maye are. 6'4", 2
Jaden's frame makes him look wild.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
it doesn't. He doesn't look 6'4" to me when he's playing. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think of anything else I want to say.
My second grievance. Can we get on the one read?
His grade without pressure, which I like. This they did this for Pro Football Focus lately. Grade without pressure 93. His early downgrade. So basically football. A lot of people don't talk about it, but
Yeah.
and a lot of coaches don't realize it or do it. You've got to have success on early downs. You don't just run the ball up the middle
I
on
stayed
first
my whole
down.
2023 on that, man. Y'all kept telling me I was overreacting. I used to scream about that all the time, especially with the Cowboys.
Who are you
Like,
talking about?
people wasting first downs. Like, you gotta do that. You gotta get positive yards. Why are you going backwards? I complained about that with the Niners in the Super Bowl. like, I've been saying it for a whole year.
That was the problem. And then let me look at Drake Maye's early down grade was 96, no pressure grade 99, past the sixth grade 100. Jaden Daniels had a 97 past the sixth grade. So some of these are really no play action grade 100 for Drake Maye, 98. So some of these they call them stable metrics. Some of those things I think are important, but so much can be manufactured in college that you really can't see it. But special arm talent, which Daniel Jeremiah says he got special arm talent. Some other people I respect. So I'm trying to not be so arrogant and at least consider the opinions of people that know more than me, which they ain't that many.
You got. Are you talking about May's special arm talent or Daniels?
May.
Oh yeah, I can't. So
where do you have Daniels? Where would you put
Daniels? Is my second quarterback, and again, my only issue is really I want to say it's because of the system. You got a dynamic, athletic quarterback. You're gonna do a lot of read options, a lot of RPO. So you don't do progressions in RPO really. Like you got to get the ball out your hand quick, or you
run on your pass.
Yeah. So I had grievances that I didn't see a lot of progressions, but I also realized that a lot of what I was seeing was RPO too. So I just wish I could have seen a little bit more of the drop back and go through his progressions. The few times that I did see it, I think he answered the bell. He doesn't have the look left, go back to the right type stuff that Caleb Williams has. And there is a tendency, but there
I don't think they should ask him to do that in the pros.
They shouldn't, but there is a tendency, and that tendency is to tuck and run a whole lot quicker than I think he should when he has the ability to extend plays and get the ball out of his hands. And I say that because there's a lot of times his wide receiver one was running across, waving his arm on drag routes and stuff because he's open and he's already taken off running.
You're right. You're right.
That's all I'm saying. And that's just the one little tendency that I noticed.
6 years ago, that would irritate me.
Yeah,
right.
I know it would. I'm happy of your growth. I'm proud of your growth.
I still do believe that you can't pass up 30-yard passes to do 10-yard runs. But I think his talent, he's enough of a passer that I can forgive that because it equals out with the run. Everybody doesn't do that. It doesn't always equal out. But I think he does, and he's a better passer. As good as Lamar is, when those big games happen, you see his limitations as a passer. But you don't see those. And even in some games with Lamar, he'll be the MVP, and you watch and you see how great he is. But you realize that, oh, my God, he threw for 168 yards and threw for 80. I don't think that's Jalen. I think you're always looking at 250 and 300.
If you're looking for Jaden Daniels play in a nutshell, Mississippi State game is 3rd and 2. They run a rub route on the outside. The inside receiver is coming back to the sideline. So the inside receiver is running.
Who said JJ?
It's his Facebook. But inside receivers running the quick out. The outside receivers running the slant standard rub route. The inside receiver is open. He's open because they're man to man. The safety's like 7 yards back. Caleb Williams would see that route and hit that guy on the pass.
Oh, of course.
Quick completion.
Well,
no problem.
Depends on if he's
Jaden Daniels waits for the slant. The slant's not open. He's got a third option dragging across his face to throw it to as well. Doesn't even look for him. He instantly wants to take off running. They contain.
How many yards did he get when he ran, sir?
Here's the thing, though. Hold on.
How many yards did he get?
I'm not done yet. They contained him. I think he bought about 4 to 5 seconds, and then he made a 7-yard pass on the opposite side of the field. So again, that's the person that you're getting. It doesn't make any sense. He didn't do it the right way, but it's still converted because he's that damn talented.
It's like a parlay, and you cash out after like the first 2 or something. It's like, what you doing?
It was crazy.
Yeah. Let's do
I was real
JJ's
quick
came
though.
up a
Can I
couple
just
times.
laugh because when I
Go
saw
ahead.
that play, I instantly thought about you and was like, God, if this was 6, 7 years ago, I would have been like, this is my guy. You would have been like,
And
he's
yeah,
sucked.
I feel like I made some mistakes with those dudes. I mean, you still do have to be a pocket passer, but
You gotta be
to be a
comfortable
top
there.
10 guy, I don't think you have to be, if you can run, and also other things that happen too. So when you can run, you can buy time because you can stop blitzes. You can freeze the defense. They have to play contain. They can't play man. It becomes incredibly predictable if you're a running threat. So
Yeah.
I think that's a boost. That's what Hurts got. That's a boost you can get from it. So I might have liked him because I like his arm and I like his passing. And then of
Well,
course he can run.
you know, it's wild too that he does that Lamar doesn't do, and this is what makes him a better passer. Jaden Daniels throws to space. He's not throwing to guys. He's throwing to space. There's a lot of
Yep. When
zone
he does
plays.
go.
Yeah, there's a lot of plays where he's throwing guys open into the window of the zone. Like this is where I need to throw it, right between the linebackers or the safeties, etc. He understands that, so he's not just out there like trying to touch pass to people. He's doing the things that you want to see from a quarterback, throwing the space. So when you get man to man against a guy like this, if he buys that extra second and he's a guy that throws the space, if he's got people, which he did at LSU, if he's got people that can get behind you, like a Tank Dell, because CJ Stroud throws the space, you're going to beat a lot of teams that way. And again, that's definitely upside for him.
I agree. Can take this moment to say, hey, if you like what we're doing, we're gonna do a lot of draft stuff. You can make sure you get notifications from the Facebook page. You can follow us on YouTube at Econobomb, Twitter at Econobomb. You can find the podcast on iTunes at IB Network. If you do that on Apple, if you look up Ronnie Carlton or RC Carlton, IB Network, that will come. Who you want to talk about next? I'll let you choose.
No, you got JJ McCarthy up here.
Yeah,
I didn't. You know what? You want to hear something funny? Didn't even scout
right.
JJ McCarthy because I saw everything I needed to see in the season.
Like that's extensive. Like we probably watch every Michigan game.
Yes,
between the two of us.
Hoping they would lose.
I'm a Michigan fan, by the way. Or for people, I'm a Harbaugh fan. So
yeah,
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. They do have a nickel out there. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's not the same. I do like the fight song, but I might have to root for the Chargers. They're looking kind of
when NCAA comes out, we're gonna see what you do. I want to see your team, and that'll let me know who you really root for.
I forgot about that. I can't even imagine playing that game. It's gonna be like a dream come true.
It
reminds me of like this is my geek side. It reminds me of when the prequels came out, and I was so excited when the third one, Revenge of the Sith, and Darth Vader was gonna become Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I feel like that about NCAA football. I was so excited. My kid was 1, and I said, I'm more excited about this than the birth of my child. I stand by it.
Oh,
I stand by it.
JJ McCarthy, he's not what his coach said. I was gonna say he's not what his coach said, which his coach said he's the best quarterback in this class. Wouldn't be surprised if he went number 1. JJ's capable. He's got. I can sum it up like this. I think JJ McCarthy has mechanical issues, and that's why he's spotty when he throws the ball. He's got a rifle arm, but it does you no good. And I will use Josh Allen as an example because that's my guy. But it does you no good to throw it 100 miles an hour and not be able to hit the mitt. That's a baseball analogy. You need to be able to hit the mitt, and he can't. So I think some of it has to do with a lot of times when I see guys have trouble being accurate, a lot of it has to do with their feet. I think people have happy feet from time to time, and that messes up their eye level. And that makes it hard for them to be accurate when they throw, because if you're up here, and then Trey Lance used to do this, he squat when he went to throw because he wanted to throw hard, and that squatting motion would take his eye level down, makes it hard to be accurate.
He's on my team.
Yeah, I think I don't know if JJ does that quite often, but I think a lot of it's mechanical. And so that's why I have him as a guy that I would take a shot on if he's around in the mid rounds. I would definitely take a shot on him.
Now, I am not, but the way they talking about it, I won't get there yet. But we pretty much can read each other's minds. We've been doing this so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you're necessarily, I'm going to ask, and maybe you're talking about this, maybe you're not. But if I would say his mechanics and his arm strength, which is not great, but it's adequate, I would say it's because of his slight frame. Like maybe he's putting his body, I had to look. But you think maybe he's putting extra body into it because he's not a big dude?
he's over exaggerating. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that because again
so
he throws
6'3",
hard as
202 is not a lot for a quarterback.
hell. He throws hard as hell, but he ain't throwing it 45 yards.
Because he feels like he has to, maybe. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It sort of reminds. I mean, he's taller than Drew Brees, but he plays a little bit like Drew Brees played at Purdue. But he's not technical like Drew Brees. I felt like all Michigan, all Harbaugh, the god, the new Larry Brown. Yes, goats, just goats. I respect a man that can go to any place in America and build a winner. That's what Larry Brown did. That's what John Harbaugh did. And Marvin Lewis did the best he could. He would have done it if he gave him the proper resources.
It took him a decade, but yeah, he
I
got
get
it.
his straight face. I'll tell y'all the Marvin Lewis story one day, y'all. If you
we're not doing that. We're not doing the Marvin Lewis story on a college podcast.
It needs to be told to the world. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna send it to him.
You're gonna show it? You're weird.
To him. Okay. If nobody respects him, I respect him. But we're off topic. JJ, I at no point of watching for the last 2 years, I knew we could win with JJ, but at no point did I see a first round quarterback. It never crossed my mind. I'm not gonna diss him that bad as Duggar from TCU. What was his name from TCU, the quarterback last year?
No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Max Duggar.
Very okay, he's a better passer, but that's what we're dealing with. We talking
they didn't hide Max for a month and a half or just about. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't care what nobody says. You ain't a top prospect if you get hidden for a month and a half. Ain't no way. I don't know
if the coach had that much faith in you. Yeah. There's no way. I don't care how conservative your coach is. Well, in 2024, you do the thing so that you can win. If they thought JJ dropping back 30 times was the formula, they would. And a lot of rollouts, a lot of half-field reads. And I'm a fan, man. A lot of moxie. He's an awesome college quarterback. But I've seen this story ever since I was born. You was like, oh, man, he's so good in college. And then you learn and you get older, and college success has nothing to do with pro success. Totally different.
I got arm strength, ball placement, progressions, coverage recognition, accuracy, and playmaking ability is 6 things that I look for in a quarterback to evaluate them from college to NFL. And you gotta hit some of these marks. And I can't say that JJ hit any of them besides playmaking ability. I give him playmaking ability, but God,
he's not afraid.
Arm strength and ball placement, progressions, coverage recognition, accuracy. He's probably below average in all those.
Now, I will say one of his strengths is his footwork. You never see him out of phase, really. He can move, throw on the run, but he's an intermediate to short passer, I think, in the NFL. So I don't see him as being a rhythmic guy. Now, you could say he didn't get a chance to do it, but has he ever gotten a chance? I mean, do you really want a quarterback where the coach was like, I don't want him to throw, and I got to find out if you can pass 40 times a game or in a game? No, not in the first round.
But if people really want me to go back and look at him, I will. I swear to you, I did not take my time to go through JJ McCarthy film.
You know the QB school dude?
Yeah,
I watched 2 games of JJ McCarthy and didn't break it down every play. No. And you know what he said?
What did he say? He always has great commentary, disclaimer.
On Twitter, he said, which games can y'all suggest to show me he's a first round?
You know what I would
It was going to be funny.
I would show the 2022 Ohio State game because I thought he showed everything in that game. Like he had his legs moving. He was accurate. When they brought pressure, he was able to get away from it. And he looked like he had arm strength because they were playing cover 0, and he was just throwing the space. But yeah,
now let me show you the difference. Now let me show you, and I'm not necessarily saying you. I'm talking to the audience. We got a big audience today. Everybody loves to draft. These are his metrics. I was telling everybody else the metrics. So just let's play the game. What do you think out of 100? What his no pressure grade might be? No pressure. What do you think Pro Football Focus rated it?
Out of 100, probably like 75,
83. You want that fall. Now, you remember I said the other people, they were off the charts.
Yeah, they were all like in the 90s and stuff.
That's the sticks grade. I'll just say it, 89. Other people were 199.
This is college.
No play action. I don't know if I said it was that. So this means no play action. And then also, too, his whole game was rollouts and play action. I don't mean that literally, but it's close. Like everything was subterfuge. They didn't say, hey, just drop back and win the game. When he did pass, it was subterfuge. You were hiding him.
I mean, if we can really be technical, I'm pretty sure out of all the quarterbacks in this conversation, he faced 8-man boxes the most.
Yeah, that's all easy pickings, man. Really easy. The whole thing, easy pickings. This whole career is just like, and I'm not. It is what it is. Just like we said, he's a winner. Just like we said, he's a winner, like Mac Jones. But I don't even think. What did I just do? I don't even think I might have just found something new. But I don't even think that he's better than Mac Jones. I don't. When I look at the college film, Mac Jones was dealing. Now he had a good team, but he was dealing. And a good receiver. He had like 3 NFL receivers, but the man was dealing. So I have nothing but respect for that. And then I said his early downgrade. No play action, 76. That means you just drop back straight back past Dussault. That's mediocre. 81 early downgrade. So unless you're going to be a running team, just like Michigan, and do play action and limit him and let him be a game manager, but why would you pick a game manager in the first round?
I mean, that's a fair question, but people still find a way to do it.
I mean, and then what we saw Brock Purdy, I'd rather take a flyer in the 6th or 7th than overdraft.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think Brock Purdy probably was a more capable passer coming out of college than JJ. So, yeah.
I think that's true, too. Let's go. You got a preference?
Nope.
Let's go to Michael Penix Jr. Corey liked him a lot. I like him a lot.
Man, that's crazy because I demoted him.
Really?
Yeah.
But the injury history bothers me.
Obviously. Red flag.
And also, I mean, that bothers me. And he's not mobile like he used to be. But, like, I see it. I see Tua. And then not just because they left-handed. I see somebody that can be accurate in the intermediate range, that can play with rhythm, precision, and timing, and poise. But I'm afraid. I don't think he can play in multiple systems. I think he can only play one way in a creative, innovative system where you can get easy wins. And he's going to execute it to perfection. But if he can't do that, I don't think he's going to be good.
He needs space. He needs a lot of space.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for too. To try to say.
Which again isn't that bad, but in the NFL, because of the athletes, you don't kind of get the same space sideline to sideline that you would at a Washington or any college. Honestly, he's a rhythm guy. You got to get him going. He's if we had the term microwave for a quarterback, I think it would fit him. He's got to see the ball go in the guy's hands a couple times, and then he'll have that rhythm because Michigan didn't let him get comfortable. And he'd been under duress before. He'd been hit before and things like that. People had blitzed him before, but it was him not getting an established rhythm early in the game, and he could just never get going in that Michigan game. So somebody asked if Michigan beating them up bothers you. Not really. I mean,
no,
I'm not you can't evaluate somebody on one game per se.
And look how far they got.
Yeah. And I would say last year, if anybody listened last year, I did say that CJ Stroud's ceiling looked like it was the Georgia game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that,
we're doing it every game.
Yeah. And that I wasn't going to take him at that being the constant because I hadn't seen that consistently. Just like I can't take Penix's bad game as a constant because he was consistently good all last year and the year before. And honestly, even in Indiana, when he was healthy, he was more than capable.
Yeah, he was something in Indiana. And people shit on Hutchinson.
Yeah.
He was triple teamed against Georgia.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to take the body of work.
Yeah. The body
now, somebody is like, if they never play a good team, okay, yeah, I got to look at that. And I'm going to put more points on if you play Bama or you play Georgia and how you perform, but you still got to look at the whole body of work.
And also people keep talking about, well, look at his receiving core. Homie spread the ball around. I mean,
yeah.
It's like everybody
got some.
So, yeah.
So, yes, we agree with that actually, Zach. We did if we're gonna have the podcast going. But we said that we both disagree with May being so high, and I think we're both saying Penix is a little underrated. I think I have Williams, obviously Daniels. Then I struggle. I want to say Penix, but I think right now I'm gonna be safe and say May, and I'm gonna look at some more games. Right now, I'm trying to balance what I saw with what the other people I respect saw. And then so
Why you worried
Penix
about what other people say, man? Stand on your own. Die on these hills. That's what pre-draft is about. Die on the hill.
Well, I want to have the most information before I make decisions.
I'm a
That's
Carson. I was a Carson Wentz truther.
I'm not a hot take person.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
I'm not a hot
Look
take.
how far my hairline went back messing with Carson Wentz.
So let's do Penix's stuff. PFF, no pressure grade. So he's a high kind of person too. 96, no pressure. 93 past the sixth grade. 91, no play action. Early downgrade, 97. So he's in that range. JJ McCarthy does not belong with these people. When I go to Bo Nix, it's going to be the same. JJ McCarthy is the only one. Well, yeah. The only one not in that conversation for being able to carry a team in college is JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a game changer, that's for sure.
No, not at all. So what do you have any kind of comps? If you don't, it's fine. Do you have any kind of comps for Penix?
For Penix, comp wise, I don't know. I would be biased because I'm thinking lefties. Not off the top of my head. No, I didn't even think to do a comp.
Now, the one thing I will say about him is his motion's kind of weird because he's got long arms and he kind of winds up and his footwork isn't that great. But I don't really see it affected on a down in and down out basis, even though it's not perfect. I don't see it affecting. I don't know. Maybe I've watched 2 or 3 games live. I watched 2 or 3 different games on the all 22. And I didn't see a lot of flaws outside of mobility. So maybe I need to watch more.
You had college all 22, bro? Who your plug?
Well, no, it's what you do. It's
all right.
QB school.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been trying, man. They took and you were right.
That's
they took him off YouTube and it broke my heart. I need that 22.
I need to look. I got on his
Nah, Pete. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that, Pete. Not
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I will say my biggest gripe with him is his love for 50-50 balls. And you can get away with that when you got a monster like Gadunze. But yeah, I need you to be more mindful that not everybody can get 50-50 ball. And he was doing that even when he was throwing to the secondary options the year before. So like I actually went back with Penix a couple seasons because again, just wanted to see how he looked from the injuries. Like that was the thing. And he's been around for 6 years. Same with Knicks. He had the injuries, but he's been around for so long.
That they're super senior 6-year players.
Yeah, it bothers me.
Man, Bo Nix started when my kids were in high school, man.
Yeah,
my kids
that does bother me because again, if you're talented enough to play, it would show early. It shouldn't take you 6 years.
You would think not.
Yeah, so
and
that bothers me.
All right, last year wasn't he at Oregon?
Yeah, he was at Oregon last year. He's been 2 years at Oregon.
I'm saying he was good though.
Yeah, both times.
It takes
at Oregon.
So we got Penix. Then let's go Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix, gosh, such a long history of Bo Nix. When the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. I kept watching at Auburn, like, oh my God.
First time I saw him, I was like, it's broke Baker Mayfield.
I thought he was like this. I don't know about amazing, but I definitely was impressed the first couple times he plays a true freshman. He started as a true freshman. But the more I saw him play, I was like, this dude is trash. And I'm glad he kind of regained his swagger in Oregon. And I really, really like him in Oregon, but I don't trust it because a lot of what they did, screens or deep balls, not a lot of intermediate, kind of a gimmicky.
Do you have his rating against tight coverage? Is that a possibility? Do they have that metric? Like against like where the defender within like a yard or
not on this. Maybe on NFL Next Gen. Maybe I'd have to search for that.
because and I know people probably think I'm making this stuff up, but I my ADD is pretty good for film watching because I'll notice all these random things. And one
Mhm.
of the things I noticed about Knicks is when the coverage was tight, his throws were batted down a lot. They were not catchable balls, and I think that's a comfort thing. And I think that's going to be an issue because he again talking about a guy that doesn't have spectacular arm strength, and if you're in the NFL, not everybody can get separation. I can name at least
Yeah.
27 teams where the receivers can't get separation. I'm a fan of one of them actually. So you need somebody that can complete some of these throws with guys on people's backs, and Knicks just didn't do that
Man,
enough for me.
I think I think his arm strength is really overrated. I mean, I've seen some cross the field passes. I've seen some things that I think people are sleeping on his arm strength. I don't know where I would rank it, but I think it's underrated. Now, when people think arm strength, or it's hard. It's like there's arm strength, then there's velocity to fit through tight windows. And I think
Yeah,
that's what you were talking about. I mean, I think he can just sling it, but I've seen some off-platform throws. But what you're saying, can he throw in a tight window? And sometimes that's not just arm strength and sometimes velocity, but it's timing, it's
yeah.
anticipation.
Also, it's also your grip. Like
Yeah,
if we got to go super technical, I know Chase will love this. If you got small hands, it's kind of difficult for
yeah,
you
exactly.
to
And
get
he's
that
smaller.
done.
So he's 6'2", 217. The other dudes we've been talking about, even Penix is 6'3", 213. So he's the smallest one outside of JJ, but I think JJ's even 6'3". He's the smallest one that we talked about. Go through his little his stable metrics. He is 97 past the sticks, 87 no pressure. So clean pocket. That's troubling. Early down, 95. No play action, 99. So again, in range, the no pressure bothers me a little bit. Let me see if anything else bothers me. He had, and this is some of the stuff too. He had adjusted completion percentage. It was 85%. So adjusted completion percentage is without the drops, basically. It's something else too. But anything that it's not the quarterback's fault. It should have been the completion. Is it batted passes? I think it's either batted passes and drops or whatever. So that is really good. But I think it's a function of his offense
I mean,
than him.
that's an easy thing to figure out. Just go back and look at his times in Auburn. I mean, he's got 6 years of data. Just go
We're not
back and
looking at
look at
Auburn.
yeah,
That was
go back and
6 years
look at
ago.
that.
We're not
But
blaming him.
he was I of all these guys that we talked about, he was a system guy. Daniels, I think
I think he's definitely a system
I
guy.
saw Daniels' talent even when he was at Arizona State. I would have
Yeah,
never
he
foreseen
was
him being
there.
a
He
Heisman, but I
had it.
thought he had the talent.
You know who
Williams,
held him back? You know who held him back?
Herm Edwards.
Yeah, y'all were touting that man,
Yeah, who? I was
killing
never.
careers.
No,
It might have just been Florida.
Antonio Pierce is might pick him up what they were saying, but I doubt it, man.
God,
But
he's so annoying. I should like
Pierce was
Herm,
on that
but
he was on that staff.
I don't think he brought jock straps to the Jets. Otherwise, I would respect him. He
Oh
did
my
go to the playoffs with the Jets. Maybe that's a good thing. Or maybe that should be respected more. All right. So, is there any other guy that you think could be a sleeper?
Jordan Travis.
Who's your team? Just just for
I mean, he's got a decent arm, man. He's got a decent arm. He's shown the ability to lead.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I think he's okay. I mean, I think
yeah.
if he didn't have that knee, I think he'd be a decent sleeper too. I
He'd
think
be in your top 5 if he didn't get hurt.
he might be. He
He
might be.
would.
If I was getting wild,
He's
I'd
better
take him
than
over.
Knicks. When he before he
Probably.
got hurt, he was
He might be
100%
better than
better
Drake
than Knicks.
Maye, but time will
Yeah,
come. And if he goes to a good team, he could be a really good game manager or something, and maybe expand it and just get better and better. Joe Milton is interesting, but he's got a big arm, but he's a horrible quarterback. And guys like that are so like that kind of guy is so unrefined
he should be a
that
receiver.
see. I like the guy from Notre Dame. I don't like him, but if
Who?
there was gonna be a
Hartman?
sleeper, I'm gonna go with the
Hartman?
money ball, dude. I'm gonna go with the money ball. He's a good looking man. He
Who's the
probably got a
money
good
ball?
looking girlfriend. Sometimes that just works.
Who's that?
You're going
Hartman?
with sleepers? Huh?
You said the money ball guy. Who's the money ball guy?
Oh, not the money ball guy. The guy, the old dudes on money ball. They were like,
Yeah,
if his girlfriend not hot, it's a confidence issue. I don't want him.
Oh.
And Brad Pitt
That's
was
funny.
like, numbers?
Hartman's just he's just basic, man. That's all.
He is
Even at the Senior Bowl, he was the one guy that just couldn't handle a lot of the speed of like the talent and things like that. He
Mhm.
just didn't look
And
comfortable.
nobody say I'm high on him. I'm just saying a sleeper. That's
No, I'm
all. That's
running
what I'm
with
saying.
it. I'm
It's
clipping
cold.
this. I'm clipping this and definitely spreading it out.
Exactly.
It's gonna be
Check it
a
out.
real. I love
All right.
Hartman.
So who are your top five?
Top five: Caleb Williams, Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix.
All right. Let me put a little call to action here, please. Wait.
I'm gonna get Corey
Or
mad about that Penix thing.
please rate or subscribe or click. All right, folks, help us out here. We're winding down. But I will say, so right now, I'm going with obviously Caleb Williams, step above everybody else. Jaden, step above everybody else after that. Drake May, against my better judgment. Then Penix, then Nix. Did I leave somebody out?
No,
The good ones. Yeah, and Drake. Then I would have Bo Nix right there. I don't know. I might flip Bo Nix, and I don't think I would. I don't know. I might get Penix over. Drake May might drop. Okay,
I'm only
Drake
taking
May
two
might
guys.
drop.
I'm only taking two guys in my top three. That'd be Williams and Daniels. That's it.
Oh, yeah, and
If
after that,
I don't give up. If I'm the Patriots and I'm number three, and if Williams goes first and Daniels goes second, then come on down, Joel. I'm just like right now. I'm going offensive line, and Alt's going to be the first off my board.
I don't blame you either. It's a good offensive line.
It's an amazing offensive line class.
It's
and
great.
receivers, yes.
And offensive line.
Yes.
So, all right, let's wrap this up. Next week, around the same time, probably at the top, but we'll do the receivers. We'll try to do all the positions. Probably not running backs because they don't matter. If you really talk me into it, maybe.
I'll be in Charlotte next week, so
okay, well, whenever we're gonna do it.
No, we can still we should still be able to do it. I'll let you know my schedule because I'm supposed to be doing some March Madness coverage, but I'll let you know my schedule. We should still be able to do it.
That sounds good. All right, everybody, give us 5 stars, rate, subscribe, give us the interactions on Facebook with the likes and comments. Same thing on YouTube. All right, everybody, 4 star screen. This is well, not Optimus Prime, am I?
You gotta be Megatron.
This is Megatron. Have a great day, everybody.
Peace.